for attending today's webinar. It is a pleasure interacting with all of you and sharing my experiences. So our objective today is to learn about what are the challenges typically, or how the process of agile adoption starts in any organization. It will start with some kind of initial uncertainty. Then the organization should identify an agile rollout strategy. We'll also be talking about what are the challenges in agile implementation, the issues you will face. We'll also talk about some of the implementation reviews, how you should do your implementation reviews, how you should ensure that we are following agile in a proper manner. We'll also talk about some of the best practices and lessons learned in agile environment. And we'll also talk about what are the characteristics of a good agile leader. So that's also an important aspect. And from leader, we are considering anyone who is involved in influencing the agile environment. It could be a scrum master, it could be a project manager, program manager, or anyone from the senior management or executive council. So let's get started. Typically for any organization, the agile adoption will start with some kind of suspicion. It will start with some kind of environment where people will not be sure, is it right? Is agile, first of all, something concrete methodology, or is it just a fad? Many people will say that, hey, you know, we have been delivering projects for many years. What is it different? How is agile different than any of the other methodologies? Some people might think that agile is only relevant for new project developments. It may not work for us. We have a lot of maintenance projects. We have a lot of infrastructure projects, or only testing projects. Probably this is not for us. Some people might say, you know, we are having multiple teams in multiple locations. So is it going to work for us? And some people might say that some of the things that Agile mentions, it's impossible to meet. How can you have co-located teams? We have our product owners or product managers sit in US. Our customers are in US, UK, Europe, multiple places. So how can we have all of them sitting together at one single location? It just doesn't seem possible. So it will always start with some kind of uncertainty in mind. But believe me, Agile is not definitely a fad. Agile has been in use and many organizations are using Agile, are moving to Agile. You will see that gradually the Agile adoption is increasing day by day. And it started with different philosophies, with Agile Manifesto getting signed in 2001. A lot of Agile methodologies have merged and the common elements of those methodologies have been identified. And since then, the Agile momentum has gained a lot of speed. It has been widely adopted across multiple organizations. The next question that many of the team members might ask, okay, we understand Agile might have something useful since other organizations are adopting it, since the industries is going for it, might have something meaningful. But is it right for our organization? We have been doing deliveries and things have been working for us. So why do we want to change? Why do we want to go to a new methodology now? Some people might say that, hey, you know, our needs are different. Our environment is different. We have our own processes. And many organizations typically would create their own processes. They would tailor processes for the organization's need. They'll make sure that some kind of changes are being made, or their own processes, the own templates, own way of doing things are identified. And in this case, someone might say that, hey, you know, when we already have our own processes and policies, quality policy, development policy, everything is set, why do we want to change it? Is it going to really work? Some people might say that, hey, you know, we are a very highly process-oriented organization. We are a CMMS certified organization. We cannot skip processes. And if Agile says less documentation, if it says less design, that's not going to work for us. Because for our contractual obligations, for our audit process, we definitely need signed off requirements. We need signed off project plan. My auditor is going to come and ask me that, show me your where are your signed off requirement specifications? Where are signed off design documentation? Where is signed testing plan? And if this is not going to get an importance in Agile environment, is it the right thing for me to do? Is it something I want to get into it? Probably I might have a lot of issues in my audit if I go to this. Some people might also say that we have multi-location teams. We have people who are spread across different locations, and it may not work for us? There are people spread across different geographies. How is it going to work with us? So it will always start with a lot of these uncertainties, a lot of these questions. And if you are involved in establishing Agile in your organization, you will have to deal with those questions. You will also have to first make sure that people understand what is Agile. People understand the true meaning of Agile, and some of the myths, some of the things that they have heard as rumors are eliminated, and people really understand the true picture of Agile. So for that, what you need to do is to really understand what is Agile. And for that, any organization who wants to follow Agile, who wants to implement Agile, definitely needs to make sure that they understand what is Agile Manifesto and what are the principles behind Agile Manifesto, why this Agile movement is coming into place in the first place. So that's something that is important to understand. It is not just enough to understand the implementation part of it, the process part of it, the methodology part of it, but it is equally important to understand why Agile methodologies are coming into place. And it will also help us to understand why Agile is getting prominence day by day. So for that, we really need to understand what is Agile Manifesto. Agile Manifesto says that working software is more important than just following the comprehensive documentation. It says individuals and interactions are definitely important than just following the processes and tools. Customer communication, customer collaboration is important than just a contract negotiation. And responding to change is important over following the plan. So it is not saying that the items that are mentioned on the right are not important. But what it is trying to say is the items that are that are on the left are definitely prominent, and those are the ones that contribute to your project success. What it says is we need to have a documentation, but what we need to have is a working software. A working software is a primary measure of progress. If I'm interested in knowing how my project is going on, where am I currently, then looking at 200 pages documentation, a user guide, online help, or any kind of documentation is not something as a unit of measure of where my project is or how my progress is. If I actually get to see the project working, maybe a few screens, maybe a few modules that are currently working, that is something that will give you more confidence of where we are on the project rather than just looking at the documentation of those areas. Individuals and interactions play a definitely important role, and we need to value individuals, we need to value interactions, not only with external customers, but with our internal customers and with various sub-teams that are involved in the project. And the processes and tools should support that and should not become a bottleneck in that. We need to have customer collaboration. We definitely need to work with our customers as our extended partners. We should not limit our discussions to the contract. So there might be different kinds of contracts which have contractual obligations. But what is more important is we want to work with our customers as if he's our partner. So that is our more focus. That is what we want to make sure it happens. Responding to changes is important. Many times we create a very detailed project plan and we sign off on that project plan. And any changes to that, we are typically resistant to it. We might say that this is a change, this was not in the original signed off plan. So any change would require a change request. And the change request will go through its approval process, and only after approval we'll take that. But that's not what the customer might be looking for. His business environment is changing. Dynamics are getting added. And he wants changes to happen in our plan as the environment is changing. So it's important to understand that the focus needs to be given on the right things. The next is we need to understand what are the principles behind this Agile Manifesto. And there are 12 principles which you can see at the agilemanifesto.org. And it is equally important to understand the principles, why these manifesto items have been identified. And that will help us to understand Agile in a true sense. So some of the principles are mentioned here. So our highest priority is to satisfy the customer with early and continuous delivery of valuable software. So our focus is giving him early and continuous delivery, giving him small and incremental pieces. We welcome changing requirements, even late in development. We are not frozen for our plan or our requirement specification once and for all. Delivering working software frequently from a couple of weeks to a couple of months is really preferred. a shorter time scale is always preferred. And working software is a primary measure of progress. So that is the thing based on which we are going to identify, are we making progress? Are we moving ahead or not? So it is important for your team, for you, and if you are a leader, if you are a manager, if you are a Scrum Master, then it is equally important for you to understand these principles and agile manifesto yourself. Also make sure that your team understands these principles. Your team understands this core value of agile.